all understand the challenge we have with Rio Tinto copper, and that is our business is going to radically transform over the next 20 years. Right now, 7% of our copper comes from underground, but by 2030, 60% at least will come from underground, and it'll go beyond that in the future. The mines are going to be small now, but they're going to grow into enormous block cave operations, enormously sophisticated operations, and we need to have the right people to manage these challenges. So starting from the design, working through the construct into the operations, we need people that understand the key safety implications of these operations, the technology, the systems and processes that we need to operate at the scale. We need a lot of really capable people to make this work.
During 2012, in response to the future demand for engineers and operators in block caving techniques, Rio Tinto funded the establishment of the Block Cave Knowledge Centre. The centre was constructed and based at North Parkes, one of the only operating block cave mines in the group. Located in central western New South Wales in Australia, North Parkes has been mining copper and gold using the block cave method for nearly 20 years.
It wasn't a hard decision to make, and the business leaders decided that we would utilise all our own in-house knowledge and specialisation and skills. So that's why we decided to do it here.
The Bckc, as it's known for short, combines the latest techniques in adult education based on the blended learning principle and houses the latest technology used in interactive training.
So blended learning is 3 phases basically of training and developing for learners, and basically those 3 stages are around virtual learning, which is all online, a blended approach, which is a mix of traditional and also online and virtual, and the first phase is obviously the traditional classroom based training and development that we do.
Rapid learning was taking into account how long did it take our existing mining engineers to become conversant with block caving technology, methodologies and practices. And we identified from those guys that it took them at best 18 months up to 2 years to become really strong practitioners. So we knew that Rio Tinto could not spare their existing mining engineers for any period longer than 12 months.
One of the things with the immersive theatre is the fact that it takes up your peripheral vision and the sounds. So when you combine those 2 features of any theatre, it's about taking the learner, in our case, through an experience, and in taking them through that experience we make it a valued experience, we make it something that they are absorbed in, and this theatre gives us that opportunity to change our whole adult learning approach. Current research shows that the adult learning environment using this immersive approach has a 60 to 70% information retention. So our traditional learning techniques about 5 to 10% effective, and now we've gone straight up to 60 and 70% effective. We can immerse you, I can totally manage your mind and leave you with an experience that you don't forget.
We can use the simulators such as the one behind us for on-the-job training and monitoring, rather than the old traditional methods of loader training was to sit outside of a drive and actually watch the operator. We can't give tips that way, we can't sit with them, we can't instruct them, whereas this way we can, and we can judge and score that as well. We blend that all into one as a refresher training package, and they've loved it. It's been anything but negative.
One of the first training initiatives to test the Bckc started in September 2013. Rio Tinto's Argyle mines were transitioning from open cut mining to underground mining. Surface operators came to the Bckc for 3 months to learn about underground mining techniques.
I think the participants reacted very well. Obviously they hadn't been exposed to the blended learning model before, so it was good. They were very engaged. So they had to learn a totally new skill, coming from totally green to underground. So it helped with that transition period.
In January 2013, the professional program commenced, offering a graduate diploma in ground control. This 12-month course was designed for existing degree holders working in mining who want to pursue a career as a mining engineer. 4 students attended. 2 were from North Parkes, with the other 2 participants from the USA and Mongolia, both working at Rio Tinto mine sites.
They've worked hard. It's a big project, huge process to bring people in from all over the world and to coordinate and get everything set up. So, as far as like what it was sold on to me from Resolution, you know, the modules, the T&I modules, have really held up their end of the bargain. For me, those are you know, invaluable, and those lessons will be carried on through the rest of my career.
Yeah, actually, I got the opportunity to improve my English. I got the opportunity to get the visa as early as possible. And there is only one thing I would like to improve is the onboarding process. I found out a lot of knowledge in block caving mines, and actually those models were running by all experts who are well experienced in block caving mine.
It's been really good. It's a good mix of being on site, being off site, and it's good having the chance to actually, especially talk to the Rio Tinto experts, because normally they come onto site and they do their audits and everything, but you never get a chance to just bug them with all the questions that you have. So from that perspective, all the background and what we do in caving and why we're doing it, and what the experience have been in previous caves, getting all that background has been really good. So I really enjoyed it. But overall, the quality of the courses has been really good, and all the UTC guys have been really engaging and really listened to us in terms of what we would like to change and all our questions and going into all that stuff.
You know, you can learn whatever you want in lectures, but at that level, you're only really scratching the surface, I think, to be able to go to a site and apply it and see it in practice. You know, we've been underground as well. For guys like Naba who haven't been underground in a cave mine, it's really good. So we've had the support of the production superintendents, the development superintendents to go and have those experiences, which has been great too. So I think it's been really positive, and you just can't get those experiences at uni.
Well, one of the industrial companies in China has just paid up about $820 million for Rio Tinto's North Parkes mine stake. This is some breaking news coming through. So Rio Tinto, one of the largest miners...
In May 2013, Rio Tinto announced that North Parkes mines had been put up for sale as part of a global strategy to reduce costs. The existing students would complete their studies, with the future of the professional program resting with Rio Tinto. The Bckc would become an asset of the new owners. Yet only after a year of operations, the Bckc has provided key learnings on how to improve and innovate in the delivery of training utilising the blended learning approach.
We have learnt an enormous amount from the North Parkes Block Cave Knowledge Centre. It's been an innovation in its own kind, because we've been able to test a whole lot of different concepts about how we will educate for the future. So we've tested the concept of immersion rooms, equipment simulators, the concept of having people integrated into local universities, and also getting the opportunity to work in an operating mine. Will we do things differently in the future? Probably.
I think one of the key opportunities going forward is to actually make greater use of technologies, as opposed to the traditional classroom and workshop type environments. While that's good and personal interaction is great in those environments, the use of technology to be able to deliver the course material and students to be able to work more remotely using technology, I think, is a great opportunity that we really need to focus on in the future.
Once you have a dream, once you have a concept, then that dream and that concept just keeps evolving. And I think when you first start these things, sometimes we don't even know what we don't know. 2 or 3 years down the track, it becomes obvious to us that we can realise even more opportunities through having this facility.
The feedback from the professional students has been outstanding and a very high standard. They've commented on the level of deep knowledge and deep understanding that they've gained from the Rio Tinto modules that have been developed by Elton Peebles and Andre Van Es and delivered by other experts. They've commented broadly around the benefits that they've received by attending additional conferences and professional development opportunities. They've commented quite strongly too around the leadership and management skills and training that we have provided them throughout the duration of this course, because we need to understand that not only they need to be technically brilliant, but they are our future leaders and managers of our organisation.
I'm really proud of the students that have been involved in the program this year. Claudia, Joe, Naba, Andrew have done a wonderful job. They've applied themselves diligently and they've been really keen to understand and really get in and have a go, and that's commendable. In the case of Naba and Joe, they've moved away from their families and their home countries for the best part of a year, and that demonstrates a really high level of dedication and commitment to their learning and their future careers within Rio Tinto. I'm really looking forward to seeing our first 4 students develop in their careers and see the role that they'll play in the design, construction and operation of our future block cave mines and making them safe and successful.
When talking with other organisations, particularly around the more traditional models, you'll go in there and you'll find a HR manager that's busy just using providers in and out, and you think, yeah, that's fine. And they say to me, Darryl, what does really good look like these days? And I will often find myself referring back to what Rio Tinto and particularly what North Parkes Mines has achieved. It's something that sometimes when you're here and doing it, you don't realise how good it is until you go back out in the rest of the world and you see what normal looks like. And yes, I have used this as an example of what great looks like, and when great minds come together and create this place of learning with so many opportunities, that certainly many other HR people or leaders or CEOs around the world have had a tinge of envy when they listen to what we've developed here.